All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about Spring Boot, one of the most powerful tools out there for Java developers. And we're not just going to talk theory. Nope. We are going to build something real, right here, right now.
I want you to really think about that for a second. What if you could go from an idea to a running professional-grade web application in less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee? No messing with servers, no wrestling with complicated setup files. Sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, stick around, because we're about to do it. So, this is our target. This is the finish line, a live web address running right on your own machine that spits out a custom greeting. And I promise you, by the end of this short explainer, you will have built this exact thing from the ground up. So let's get our tools ready. Okay, so every great builder, every artist needs a well-organized workshop. Before we even think about writing code, we have to get our digital tools laid out and ready to go. Trust me, getting this part right saves you so many headaches later on. First step, the absolute bedrock, the JDK, or Java Development Kit. It's simple, really. No JDK, no Java. It's the engine that takes the code we write and translates it into something the computer can actually understand. We're going to use Java 17. Why? Because it's an LTS release. That stands for long-term support, which just means it's super stable, reliable, and what the pros are using out in the field. Next up, meet your project's architect, Apache Maven. Now imagine you're building a Lego castle. You don't make every single brick yourself, right? You get them from a box. Maven is that box. It knows all the pieces our project needs, we call them dependencies, and it goes out and fetches them for us automatically. It's a total game changer. And finally, the workshop itself. Our IDE, or Integrated Development Environment, we're using IntelliJ IDEA. Think of this as a workbench on steroids. It's a smart editor that understands our Java code, works perfectly with Maven, and just pulls all of our tools together into one place to make our lives a whole lot easier. Okay, workshop is prepped. Now it's time to lay out the blueprint for our project. But here's the thing. We're not going to draw this thing by hand. Nope, we're going to use a special tool that, honestly, feels a little bit like magic. This is the Spring Initializr. It's just a web page, but it's an incredibly powerful one. It completely takes away all the boring, error-prone work of setting up a new project. You just tell it what you want, and it hands you a perfect, ready-to-code project structure. No guesswork, just results. Now, when you get to the site, you'll see a few options. Let's just walk through the key ones, because the why behind each one is super important. For project, we pick Maven. That's our architect we just talked about. Language is, of course, Java. And this is crucial. We set the Java version to 17 to match the JDK we have installed. For packaging, we'll choose jar. That just means it's going to bundle our entire app into one single, easy-to-run file. And then, the secret ingredient. We add one dependency, Spring Web. This little guy pulls in everything we need, including a web server. And that's literally it. You fill out that simple form, you hit that big Generate button, and bam, a zip file with your entire perfectly structured project downloads right to your computer. Just like that. All right, blueprints in hand. Now for the really fun part. Let's roll up our sleeves and bring this application to life. And you're going to be shocked at how little code this actually takes. So once we open the project, we'll see this file already waiting for us, demoapplication.java. See that annotation at the top? At Spring Boot application? That is the master switch. It's what tells Spring Boot, hey, wake up, scan for components, configure the server, and get this whole thing running. It's the brains of the entire operation, all in one line. Okay, our turn. We're going to create a brand new file, and we'll call it greetingcontroller.java. Now, the very first thing we do before anything else is add this little tag right above the class, at RESTcontroller. This is like putting up a sign for Spring that says, hey, this class right here, its job is to handle requests from the web. Now, inside that class, we write a simple method, but look closely at the annotation right above it, at getGreeting. This is where the magic really connects. This little line creates a direct link. It tells Spring, listen, anytime a web request comes in looking for the /greeting URL, I want you to run this specific method and send back whatever it returns. So let's just pause and break that down. At RESTcontroller is a 2-for-1 deal. First, it marks the class as a handler for web requests. Second, it tells Spring that whatever our method returns, in our case just a plain old string of text, should be sent back as the direct response. No extra boilerplate needed. And @get mapping is just as powerful. It's like a receptionist for your code. It specifically listens for HTTP GET requests. That's the type of request your browser makes when you type an elegant way to connect a URL to a piece of code.
And there you have it. That's the whole shebang, the complete, finished code for our controller. Just take a second and look at that. It's so concise. With just a couple of annotations and a few lines of Java, we have built a fully functional web endpoint. That, my friends, is the power and beauty of Spring Boot.
Okay, the workshop is ready, the blueprint is perfect, the code is written. There's only one thing left to do. It's time for the moment of truth. Let's fire up the engine and watch this thing fly. So we just pop open the terminal right inside our IDE, and we type this one simple command. This is us telling Maven, our architect, hey, use that Spring Boot plugin and run this application for me. So let's hit enter. And you'll see your console just light up. A whole bunch of text will fly by, you'll see that cool ASCII art Spring Boot banner, and then you'll see the magic words. Right near the end, it will say, Tomcat started on ports 8080. That's our green light. Our application is officially live and listening.
And now for the victory lap. We open up any web browser, we type in localhost 8080, and then we add our special path /greeting, and there it is. Hello world, welcome to the Spring Boot Masterclass. We did it. Success.
So let's just step back for a second and think about what we actually did. When you strip away all the details, it was really just 3 simple steps. First, we generated the project blueprint. Second, we wrote one tiny little controller class. And third, we ran the application. That's it. That's all it took to get from 0 to a running web app. Now, think about this. We just handled a GET request, which is all about getting or reading information. But what about the other side of the coin? What if you wanted to create something new, to write data to your application using a POST request? Well, as you can probably guess, Spring Boot makes that next step just as easy. And that's where the real adventure begins.